Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video, another Let's Play. I am Mr. Blackhammer 2021. This is Mr. Blackhammer 2021. I got NBA 2K21 my career for ya. But today we are going to be doing a review on WWE Crown Jewels 2021. Now I did make a video earlier, but I had to delete it and remake it again because there was no volume and you couldn't hear me talking. So I had to delete my old video and make a new one and talk about what happened at Crown Jewels on Thursday. Right now, this video has been uploaded on Saturday. Also, this video has been sponsored by JD, Salamaster, and a few of my friends on YouTube. I got more in the way, so hit that like button, leave a comment. So while I'm playing the game, I will talk about Crown Jewels and how Crown Jewels was a great show, and then I will review and I will talk about Smackdown, and then I will talk about the news and rumors about Becky and Charlotte swapping titles, and then them having a backstage fight after the show. But first thing first, I will talk about Crown Jewels, ladies and gentlemen. Crown Jewels was a great show. It was a great show. It may have been one of the best Crown Jewels, best Saudi shows in years. Saudi Arabia was a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great match. From start to finish, all the matches were great. All the matches were easily 5 stars. I thought the Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins and Edge was great. They had great chemistry. And the feud called for Hell in a Cell. It's the final chapter. That was a great way to open the show. The crowd was hot for the match. Mansoor and Ali was a decent match. I loved the ending. Hopefully they put Mansoor. And then we had the Queen Crown. And I thought that was the worst match tonight. Doudrop and Selena Vega were terrible. I think the only thing that was good was the ending. But I will get into that later. And even Bill Goldberg. Yes, Bill Goldberg and Bobby Lashley was also decent. It was a lot better than the SummerSlam match. I'm not gonna go through all that much. The match was what it was. It was decent. Goldberg had a better performance than the last two Saudi Arabia shows. I feel bad for Bobby Lashley being fed to Bill Goldberg like that. And then we had the King of the Ring. Xavier won the King of the Ring. I don't agree with it. I think Finn Balor should have won it, but Xavier Woods has always wanted the King of the Ring. He won the crown in a pretty good match with Finn Balor. And then we had Drew McIntyre and Biggie. It was a great match. There were a few surprises in that, but the match was too predictable. We all knew Biggie was gonna win. Drew McIntyre was not gonna win it because he's on Smackdown, and there's rumor that he wants Roman Reigns. And then we had the triple threat for the Smackdown Women's title. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair was on the match of the night. I thought that was great. I thought it was a great match for what it was. It was epic. And the match was, I was surprised that Becky won the match. I thought that Sasha was gonna win it because she's on SmackDown. And based on what happened on SmackDown, with the title swap, I will get into that. But yeah, it was a great match. All three of these women are great wrestlers. They're great in the ring. And then finally, the main event. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Champion. Where did Paul Heyman's allegiance lie? I thought it was a great match. It wasn't better than the first match at WrestleMania 31, but it was a decent match. They told a great story. The story was all about Paul Heyman. Who is he aligned with? Brock or Roman? Right now, we still don't know. But he actually screwed over Brock Lesnar. Brock made it think that Paul turned on him. Because Brock lost. And Roman Reigns, of course, he's going to retain. It was really obvious. And this feud is going to continue. Probably at the Royal Rumble. And I'm okay with that. I think Roman's going to win that match too. But either way, Crown Jewels had the better card. It was a great pay-per-view. Best pay-per-view of 2021. Crown Jewel was way better than WrestleMania and SummerSlam in my opinion. And it had the better card and the better matches. Because SummerSlam was a major letdown. The only two matches that actually saved the show. And Brock Lesnar returned. In WrestleMania, night one was better, but night two was a disappointment. Only thing that you remember was the main event. So I think we will go over the entire card, and then I'll talk about Smackdown, and then the news and rumors. Alright, so actually the pre-show it came on at 11 o'clock. And by the way, this show went 4 hours. It may have been the first, hopefully last Saudi Arabia show. The show started at, well, the main show was at 12 o'clock, and it ended at 4 o'clock. It was 4 hours long. Way too long. If you're in Saudi Arabia, I'm sure people were exhausted and really tired. But in America, it was in on the afternoon. So yeah. So like the pre-show, also they made a few changes on the pre-show. They also changed Bill Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. The match was supposed to be a no-hold barred, but they changed it to a fall count anywhere, and I can see why. And then Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns were changed to a no disqualification match at the very last second on the pre-show. But even though it was no disqualification, Brock and Roman still wrestled like a regular match. So yeah. And then, so the first match on the pre-show was the Usos and the Hurt Business. There was a non-title. Only reason why this match took place was to fill time and get everyone on the show. It was non-title. Of course, the Usos have to win because they are the Smackdown Tag Team Champion, and they gotta look strong for Roman Reigns. So they beat the Hurt Business in a decent match. Usos got a big pop in Saudi Arabia. Usos are over. I feel bad for the Hurt Business for Cedric and Shelton. How they buried the Hurt Business. How many times have they lost already? But anyway, it was a decent match. There's not much here. I was at work when the pay-per-view was on. Then I came home and saw the highlights. Saw people talking about it. Alright, but anyway, let's get into the main card, the main show. The first match that opened the show was the Hell in a Cell, Edge versus Seth Rollins. This was easily match of the night. One of the best Hell in a Cell matches that I ever seen. A lot better than Rollins' match 2 years ago. And Seth Rollins finally redeems himself after the dreadful Hell in a Cell match from 2 years ago with Bray Wyatt. This match was great. They used a lot of weapons. The feud had been great. The promo work was phenomenal. And it was awesome. So Edge looked great. A lot going on. I do love the part when Rollins did the pedigree and Edge hit the spear. They did use steel step. They had a chain. They had a table, steel step, a steel chair. Yeah. So yeah. This match was decent. It was a great match. Great way to open the show. The crowd was into it. People in Saudi loved Edge. And Edge is over. I'm not sure if this is it for Edge or if we're going to see him again. Because Edge is a part-timer. Edge is a part-timer. I'm not sure if he's a full-timer, if he's going to work a full-time schedule. If he's a part-timer, I think we'll see him until January. He might be in the Royal Rumble. Maybe. It was a great match. Edge is great. Ed can still go at age 47. He's almost in his 50s. So yeah, thought the match was great. Now Ed got the win because he hit the curb stomp on Seth Rollins. He did Rollins' own move and he won. He was going to do the crossfade, but he got out of it and curb stomped Rollins and ended. It was a great way to open the show. Great match. Match was really long, but it was a 4-hour show, so I am mad. And after that, we had another good match. Mansoor versus Ali. This match went 10 minutes. It was decent for it. I love the ending. The ending was great when Mansoor did the neck breaker on the top rope. It beat Ali. Mansoor and Ali are two great wrestlers. It's sad how they're being misused and miscast on the main roster. And by the way, this was a rematch on Smackdown. By the way, and it went 2 minutes. But if match the Crown Jewel went 10 minutes, maybe Mansoor bet match. Mansoor has a match every year in Saudi Arabia, and this match had a reason because they were teammates and Ali turned on them. Mansoor challenged him to a match in Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is Mansoor's hometown, so he knew he was gonna win. So after he won the match, I think someone came out. I forgot his name. He might be Saudi Arabia. He might be friend with Mansoor, but he came out and he attacked Ali. He kicked him in the face. Poor Ali. I feel bad for Ali. Ali's a great wrestler, but he's not. He's being misused. So yeah. Um. So as I was saying. Alright, so what else do we have next? We had so after Mansoor and Ali, I think we had the tag team title, or was it the other? No, I think it was the yeah, it was the Raw tag team titles. The Raw tag team titles. Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. The match was decent. Not gonna say too much. This is a rematch from SummerSlam. The match was decent. It was alright, but I don't care about the match. I hope the feud is over. Hopefully these two teams can move on and we can give RK Bro a new tag team. Only reason why the feud continued because there's no tag team. There's no other heel team. Maybe the Alpha Academy since they're on Raw now. Maybe. But man, I feel bad for AJ Styles. Now I know a lot of people say AJ Styles are being wasted because he's in the tag team. He's teaming up with Omos. And there's rumored that Omos is going to be given a single push. And I heard that Randy Orton said in an interview that Omos should not. Omos is not ready. I don't care about Omos. Omos sucked. He wrestled like every other big man. He worked on a great Khali. But yeah, match was decent. Hopefully the feud is over and we move on from it. The match was alright for what it was. So yeah. Hopefully they move on with it. I'm not gonna say that much. I think I'll just move on from it. And now we can get into the Queen Crown. Doudrop versus Zelina Vega. I think this was the worst match of the night. And this is where the crowd felt dead a little bit. Probably because no one cares about these two. No one cares about the Queen Crown. We all know the Queen Crown has been a failure. All the matches have been terrible. Every match that the women have had in the tournament have been terrible. It lasted 2 minutes, 90 seconds. This match, so the match with Doudrop and Zelina Vega went 5 minutes. It went 5 minutes. And the only thing that was good was the ending. Thank God the match was over. I feel bad for Vega of how they treated Vega. She's been a loser the entire time. I think this was her third victory in WWE since being back, since returning to the company. Which is crazy when you think about it because Zelina Vega had been a loser on Smackdown. And now she's on Monday Night Raw. She had the Queen Crown. Now it does fit her because she's a heel, but WWE's not going to push Vega. She's going to be nothing but a jobber. The Queen Crown is not going to go anywhere. She's not going to be in championship matches. Not even close. And plus she sucked. I feel bad for how they treated her back in New York when her match was shafted in Madison Square Garden because someone in her family died in the 9/11 attack, and she was supposed to have a match in Madison Square Garden, but it got scrapped. I feel bad for that, but anyway, the match was terrible. I think the only thing that was good was the roll up or whatever the hell it was called. It's hard to believe that Doudrop can beat Shayna Baszler in 2 minutes, but she can't beat Zelina Vega in 5. Now, what did that say about Shayna Baszler? Because Shayna Baszler was the fan favorite in the tournament, and she got eliminated by Doudrop in 2 minutes. It actually hurt Shayna Baszler a lot more than Doudrop. So, you can't tell me that Vega is more believable in beating Doudrop, but not Shayna Baszler. Someone who's been booked dominant lately the past few weeks. But anyway, the match was terrible. I think I'll move on. And then finally we get to Bill Goldberg and Bobby Lashley. Now, I know I have my problem with Bill Goldberg, of him coming back, taking spots from the younger guy, burying the young talent, and killing the said fuser. Now, we all hate Bill Goldberg. We all hate and despise him. I'm not a fan of Bill Goldberg. Goldberg sucks. Goldberg can't wrestle. But at Crown Jewels on third day, the match was a lot better than SummerSlam. I feel bad for Bobby Lashley being fed to Bill Goldberg, being pinned like that. I think it was terrible. Except for Bobby Lashley. But hopefully that is over. Hopefully we never see these two in the ring. Hopefully the feud is over and Goldberg can go away. It's been reported, and Goldberg said that Goldberg had 2 more matches on the contract. So we got 2 more matches next year. Either way, I don't care who they are. Hopefully it's not for a championship. But either way, this Fall Count Anywhere was decent. It was a lot better than SummerSlam. There were a few surprises in it. I mean, this may have been Goldberg's best match in 4 years since he's been back with the company. Since the Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania 33. Like, there were a few things in this match. It was good because they fought outside the ring. They brought in a few weapons, steel steps, a table, a chair. They had kindled it at the end. And Goldberg hit the spear, hit the jackhammer, and I legit thought that the match was over. I was like, okay, finally. Now we can get this worthless piece of crap match out of the way and move on. But that didn't happen. Goldberg hit the jackhammer. I was shocked and surprised that he didn't bot the jackhammer. He didn't drop Bobby Lashley. He didn't bot the jackhammer. He actually hit the jackhammer right. Bobby Lashley sold it right. And I thought the match was over. A lot of people thought he should run for the pinfall. But he didn't. He wanted to punish Bobby Lashley for what Lashley did to his son. Because the entire build had been all about Goldberg's son. Goldberg saying, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna murder Bobby Lashley. When we all know he wasn't gonna do that. So Goldberg didn't say he wasn't gonna do. He beat Bobby Lashley. He got his revenge. Hopefully that it's over. Hopefully that they end the damn feud. I don't want to see a feud ever again. Now, except for Bobby Lashley, the way how they treated Bobby Lashley. As soon as Bobby Lashley lost the title the way he did, the Biggie, the writing was on the wall. We all knew he would beat Bill Goldberg. It was pretty predictable. Goldberg was gonna get his revenge. Goldberg had not won a match since last year in Saudi Arabia when he killed Bray Wyatt. And I thought that was awful. And that's why we all hate Bill Goldberg. Yeah, so I think I'll talk about the ending when both of them were on the ramp. Then we saw Shelton and Cedric. Now, this was actually a pretty good scene. Might have been my favorite about the match. How Goldberg and Lashley were on the ramp, and we saw Cedric and Shelton holding candlesticks. We saw the look on Goldberg's face, and look he gave to Lashley. And Goldberg got rid of her business, and then Goldberg and Lashley fought with candlesticks. Goldberg hits Lashley with a candlestick, and he spears him through the, I think it was through something. It was on the table or whatever, and he wins. Goldberg won. He got that sweet Saudi money. I hope to God that the feud is finally over and we can move on. That's all I'm gonna say. 'Cause I don't care about Goldberg. Goldberg had no business being in the ring. He had no business fighting for championship matches. I mean, Goldberg should put over superstars, but he buries them. How is Bobby Lashley gonna come back from this? How's he gonna recover on Raw? I think that Lashley should be traded to SmackDown. Hopefully MVP comes back because MVP is still injured. Recovering from knee surgery or whatever. So yeah. Alright, so after that we had what else do we have? After that we had what else? So after the Goldberg and Lashley match, we had Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor for the King of the Ring. It was a very good match. It was decent. I don't agree with Xavier Woods winning. I think Finn Balor was more deserving the way how they treated Finn Balor and how he lost to Roman Reigns. Finn Balor had been misused and miscast on the main roster for 5 years, and then he went back to NXT, and Triple H booked him great, but then he came out to the main roster, and they fed him to Roman. They made him look like a geek and embarrassment at Extreme Wolves. Finn Balor needed something to rebuild his momentum and his character. I think a heel Balor being a king would have been great. Like instead of calling him Prince Balor, call him King Balor. And I'm not a big fan of the New Day getting all these opportunities every single time, because New Day's already established. They won like 10 tag team title reigns. Now I think we all knew Xavier was gonna win. He hit the elbow drop and won. The match was 10 or 8 minutes. It was decent for what it was. I think Finn Balor should have won, but I think we all knew Xavier was gonna win, because Xavier Woods is the one who advocated for King of the Ring. He said that it's a favorite. He's always wanted to be the King of the Ring. So he won, and he got a big pop on Smackdown the next night. Fans chanted, "Oh, you deserve it." Hopefully it leads somewhere. Hopefully they turn him heel, or change the character, do something fun, do something interesting. You can't be giving up this New Day crap with Xavier Woods. Otherwise he's not going to be believable. He's not going to be taken seriously. I don't know how long is he gonna have the gimmick. I don't know how long is he gonna have the King gimmick, because we all know how Baron Corbin was. Because Baron Corbin had the King gimmick for 2 years, and he didn't do anything. Everything he did was garbage. I don't want that to happen to Xavier Woods. Hopefully Xavier Woods can do something with the gimmick. Otherwise, why did he win it? Maybe he'll turn heel. Maybe. I'm not really confident of them doing that. Or he could turn on Kofi. So after that match, I think we had, after the King of the Ring, we had Drew McIntyre versus Biggie for the WWE Championship. This was a great match. There were a few surprises in the match. It was a great match, even though there wasn't really a story. There wasn't really no build, because every week on Raw, Biggie and Drew kept teaming up to take down the other team. Can they coexist? The match was too predictable. We all knew Biggie was gonna win, because Drew McIntyre's on Smackdown, and they're probably gonna do McIntyre versus Reigns. That can be your big feud. And Biggie just won the title last month, so he can have it won. It's gonna be Biggie versus Roman. It can be Biggie and Reigns at Survivor Series. Alright, so after that, there were a few surprises in the match where I thought Drew was gonna win it, because he hit the Claymore kick. I thought the match was over. As soon as he hit that Claymore kick, Biggie kicked out. Surprisingly, the crowd chanted, "This is awesome." The crowd was into this match. It was great for what it was. It was really decent. But listen, Drew McIntyre is not a main event guy anymore. He's not going to be winning world championships anytime soon, because people are over Drew McIntyre, and a lot of fans were sick and tired of him getting all these opportunities every time. And Drew McIntyre is stale and boring as a babyface, so he's not going to be winning any world championship. He might be in the mid card on Smackdown maybe, but it was a good match. Biggie gets the win, and then we have, after that, we have the SmackDown Women's match. The SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair. This was also another great match. Crown Jewel was a great show. So Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, and Bianca Belair have great chemistry. The triple threat match for the women was also great. It was decent. The crowd was into it. Now Becky Lynch shockingly got the win. I thought Sasha was gonna win it, but Becky Lynch won the match. She retains her title with a roll up that she got on Sasha. So she retained the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I will talk about what happened on Smackdown last night about the title swap. I will go over that. I will rant on that part. Alright. So Becky Lynch got the win. The match was great. Bianca Belair was very, I think she was a star in this match. She was very strong in that match. She tried to do the KOD on both of them, but they both countered. Now I thought Bianca would get pinned, but Sasha Banks took the pin. She got rolled up by Becky. Well, cause Becky's still a heel. She's still forcing that heel turn, and it's still not working for a lot of fans. She's actually getting go away heat by it. She still comes out to her babyface theme song. People still cheering her, cause she been out to a babyface. So yeah. So yeah. I can't wait. And finally, the main event: Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns for the Universal Champion. It was a good match. It was a great match. It wasn't that. It wasn't better than the first match at WrestleMania 31. I think the first match was a lot better. But this match was great. The story with Paul Heyman. The match started off with them going back and forth. Like Lesnar tried to do suplexes. Reigns grabbed the rope, so he prevented Brock from doing the suplex. Reigns played it smart. I think my favorite spot was when Reigns jumped out of the ring and onto Brock Lesnar. Jumped over the top rope out of the ring onto Brock Lesnar. That was awesome. And then the match was great. I will talk about the ending. Now, I know a lot of people were frustrated with the ending. Some people didn't like the ending. I did because it made sense. And this was the story. The story with Paul Heyman. Where does his allegiance lie with? Who is Paul Heyman aligned with? Brock or Roman? Because the ending, when Paul Heyman threw the title in the middle of the ring between Lesnar and Reigns, and he said, you know what to do with it. And both of them were grabbing the title. They were playing tug of war. Then the Usos came in. They super kicked Brock. Roman Reigns hit Brock with the title, and he wins. He pins them 1, 2, 3. It made sense because we all know that this feud is gonna continue. The feud is gonna continue going into next year at the Royal Rumble. Because on Smackdown, Brock Lesnar came out and he attacked the Reigns, he attacked the Usos, he stared down Paul Heyman, he F5'd Adam Pearce to a point where Adam Pearce's pants broke, like they whipped. And Brock Lesnar been suspended indefinitely. Now, I must not like the brawl they did on Smackdown. Brock Lesnar gonna be taking some time off. That's the way of Brock Lesnar of being off TV. Brock Lesnar gonna come back next year in January at the Royal Rumble, or on day 1 on that pay-per-view that they just came. Because there's no pay-per-view in December, and we all knew that Roman Reigns was gonna win. We all knew that Reigns was gonna beat Lesnar at Crown Jewels, because Survivor Series is gonna be Biggie versus Roman Reigns in a champion versus champion match. December, there's no pay-per-view in December. They got rid of TLC. Thank God, because TLC is a garbage pay-per-view. There's no need for these gimmick pay-per-views. Get rid of it. Get rid of all the gimmick pay-per-views. So, yeah. So, yeah. Crown Jewel was a great show. One of the best shows I ever seen. This was better than the last 2 Crown Jewel shows. It was a lot better than Super Showdown last year. And everything was great. All the matches were great. Everything made sense. Like, there was no title change. The one thing I realized is that there was no title change at all in this show. There was no title change in the show at all. But the match was great. It was a decent match. I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought the match was awesome. I look forward to seeing the match again. It's not going to be at WrestleMania. It will be at the Royal Rumble or on day 1. So, yeah. Now, I hope that my video does not get blocked. Hopefully that you guys can hear me on this video. And let me know in the comments section below you guys want to see more. So as I said, I was going to talk about Smackdown. Smackdown was alright. Smackdown was actually mostly terrible. I'm like the only thing that was good was Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And that entire segment on Smackdown lasted 40 minutes. It was kind of the same mode with Brock Lesnar. Because how many times has Brock Lesnar been suspended? Because WWE is too lazy to book Brock Lesnar and take him off TV. We all know he's going to come back and fight Roman Reigns and end the match and end the feud and see what else Paul Heyman does. And then the ending of SmackDown, we had Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch swap their titles. And I just thought, how pathetic was that? How lazy can the company be? Swapping the titles instead of merging the divisions and unifying both titles. But they did the exact same thing as last year when the New Day and the Street Profits swapped their titles after being drafted to different brands. Now Charlotte and Becky dropped their titles. And I thought it was awful. It was lazy. Because WWE did not care about women's wrestling, and there were a few things in the match that didn't make any sense. Because after the show went off the air, there was a report by FIFO and JD, and this is what Westeros said. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch had a backstage fight after the show. Now, the segment on SmackDown was not scripted. Basically, what Charlotte and Becky did, they did it wrong, and it was not scripted. Because Charlotte and Becky had a legit backstage fight after SmackDown went off the air. It was backstage. So yeah. So yeah. I thought the match was alright. It was it was just awful. Now what else was I gonna talk about? Hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back with more.